as Latinos, we need to have more empathy for the Cubans being wrongly deported, because no, we don't, okay? This is exactly what you wanted. Inadvertently, you voted for this, all right? I'm reminded of that little jingle, I will vote for Donald Trump. And now that they're getting deported, I think, cogete a Donald Trump. You voted yourselves out. You voted your family members out by voting him in. You thought that it was only going to be los negritos, the ones that look like me that were going to be, deported, okay? And no, see, I know a Cuban guy. I knew a Cuban guy up until last week. His name was Usnavi. And if you know Cubans, there's always one of them named Usnavi. When your name is literally spelled out U.S. Navy and you have U.S. agents cuffing you, y tú estás, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Que te vas pa'l carajo ahora, eh? And this dude was a janitor, but janitor in New Jersey, you can make a lot of money. He had a pickup truck. Él tenía su banderita gringa, tú me entiendes. He was very proud to be an American. Come to find out que te enviaron pa' Cuba de nuevo. It's hilarious, and at the same time, it's upsetting. I've always gotten along con lo que no son niega raza. The people that are Latin, Caribbean, that don't deny their blackness. ¿Por qué? Because our ancestors over here in this country used to hang together. You understand? Julio Roldan, 1970. Look it up. The information's out there, all right? Cubans, you got that movie Scarface, and it just put you on another fucking roller coaster of a ride in your mind. ¿Te creía que the world is yours, chico? No, it's not. And by the way, Al Pacino ruined that movie, and he ruined Carlito Way playing a Puerto Rican. And it wasn't me, by the way. I did not see Usnavi and say 1-800-YELLO, 1-800 make the drinks cold. It wasn't me. It just so happened to happen that someone in his workplace didn't like him. They ratted him out. They got him at work, okay? That's crazy. It's insane, porque he thought that they were only going to get the ones that didn't work. Motherfucker, they coming after you because it's easier to find the ones that are working than the ones that are not working. When people aren't working, you don't know where the fuck they at, okay? But when people are at work, it's easy to find them. Así que te cogieron. And I went to kindergarten, I'm sure most of us did, and I was always taught that the color orange meant danger. Cuidado, por ahí viene algo. Green meant go, ¿verdad? Pero since forever, orange has always meant stop, drop, precaution, mira para los lados, something's happening. So I would never vote orange. It could be another orange person that goes up and they want me to vote. No way, you orange, bro. I don't trust the color orange. That's the sign of a penitentiary. They put them in orange so that you can see them coming from a mile away. This motherfucker, his skin is telling you que viene por ahí, va a hacer algo malo. Y como quiera la gente, no, ese es el mío. Cubans think that motherfucker is family member. Like, oh yeah, ese es primo mío, puede ser el trompe ese. Váyanse al carajo, choque pendejo. And by the way, you didn't see the writing on the wall? Like, you coming from a country where shit like this has happened, you didn't see like, oh yeah, this looks familiar. No. Hay que ser pendejo, man.
It baffles me that people who had black fatigue over the week, like few weeks ago, few days ago, a lot of them made videos to talk about how they had or still having black fatigue. All of a sudden are the same people who are not calling black people to come out and protest with them, come out and speak out for them, make content about what they are going through and all of that, how nobody's supporting them, and how they came out during the Black Lives Matter, protests. And now when it's their turn, the black folks are not coming out to really help them and how they are going to retaliate, blah, blah, blah. All those plenty talk, right? Well, it baffles me that a few days ago they had black fatigue and all of a sudden the black fatigue had disappeared. How melodramatic. Well, I'm just going to let some of these videos roll, then I'll come back with the commentary, right? You're welcome back again to my channel, guys. Please go ahead and subscribe if you have not already. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go watch, then I'll come back with the commentary.
The tension between the African American community and Latino community needs to stop. Now, I didn't fucking say that, but I've heard it a million goddamn times on TikTok the last couple days. We didn't start the goddamn tension. We didn't. We did our parts back in motherfucking November, and how many goddamn ways do we have to say that? Do I need to say it in Spanish at this point? Because if you don't seem to be comprehending, you knifed us in the goddamn back in November. I walked to the goddamn polls to vote for your best interest, not just mine. It wasn't just thinking about me. We warned you, we told you we did everything and we fucking could, and you were on here shaking the goddamn maracas and popping your goddamn coochies to, I will vote for Donald Trump. What more do you want from us? You owe us an apology at this point. We don't owe you one. We don't owe you a goddamn thing. And to throw up that you were out there supporting us during the BLM movement, I don't remember seeing that many of you out there. Who I do remember seeing out there were white people, not you. So I'm going to call a spade a goddamn spade. I'm going to say it like it is. I'm sure you were out there. I don't remember seeing as many of you as I saw white people out there. So let's not do that. Let's not go tit for tat. Because again, 92% of us showed up to vote for your best interest back in November. I guarantee you 92% of you were out there during the BLM. I can guarantee you because 92% of you didn't even show up to vote for your best goddamn interest. Back in November, you betrayed your goddamn selves. Your energy is misdirected. We're not trying to deport you. We're not your enemies. The Republicans are. So you might want to attack them. You might want to find something fucking safe to do. Because attacking us is not going to be it. We have always been your ally, not your goddamn enemy. Now run along to it.
And to the Latinos for Trump, do you really think that you're one of them? Do you really think that you belong? Do you really think that they won't toss you to the side and throw you away the moment that you are no longer useful to them? Because I made one video speaking up against Trump, and my comment section turned into a bunch of people telling me to go back to Mexico. Probably white people, probably white MAGAs saying, go back to Mexico, or go back where you came from, or calling me illegal, calling me an alien. I was born and raised in the United States. I am a United States citizen. I've never even stepped foot in Mexico. I am as American as it gets. But you see how the moment that I didn't fit their agenda, they resorted to racism? They resorted to hate? Now, I've been anti-Trump since I was a teenager. But do you really think that they won't hesitate to treat you just like they treated me in those comments? The moment you do something that they don't agree with, they will treat you the same way. You are not special because you were born here, because I was born here, and they still treat me like a second-class citizen. So stop acting like you're better than everybody else, stop acting like you actually belong, and stop acting like they actually like you. Because they don't. They're using you. The moment you are no longer useful to them, they will throw you away like any other toy that they've used before. And don't get it twisted either. I am a proud Mexican American. Yo soy mexicano y soy orgulloso de ser mexicano y nunca voy a parar de luchar para los mexicanos.
I will never laugh at somebody getting deported. Unless it's the husband of the woman who made the song, I will vote for Donald Trump. You did that to your husband. Su esposo, El Salvador. Like, y'all are delusional. And you've got to be racist because so many Hispanics hate being called Mexican when they're not Mexican, which I understand. But you have a certain disdain towards Mexicans. And you thought that Donald Trump, a rich white man, isn't the type of person to get y'all all confused. You thought the hordes of white men who have this victim mentality where they're getting erased wouldn't group y'all all together and just start deporting people because they're brown or have a Hispanic last name. You thought that him making his entire campaign about immigrants didn't involve you. Why? Why did you think that? Why would you think that? Because you think you're better. That's why. You think because your skin is lighter, your skin is más pura, I guess, in your racist mind, that you were better. You were above deportation. Wrong! You see what white supremacy does to your mind when you don't decolonize it? You see what happens? Wow. That sucks.
So Latinos for Trump have finally spoken against him. It took y'all long enough. Actually, y'all should have did that shit before y'all even elected this man. Because I'm saying, yes, y'all helped elect this man. And now what's going on in Los Angeles is y'all fault. It is y'all fault. Y'all divided y'all vote. And you put this man in office. And what is he doing? He's going against people who are innocent. He's rounding up anybody and everybody that looks like your demographic. He don't give a fuck about warrants. Hell, I am so happy to see that y'all are out there. The ones that didn't vote for him are out there fighting against these ICE agents and not allow them to take anybody. Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all need to pay attention because they will deploy the National Guard if they get access to that shit. That is ICE agent director's initiative tonight, is to try to get the National Guard on the ground against everybody that is processing these roundups against ICE agents. So, y'all in my prayers. That's all I can do. Y'all are in my prayers. But Latinos for Trump, y'all asses should be out there. This is y'all fault. This is partly y'all fault that your people are being rounded up like cattle and sent to places that some of them have never seen before. Get y'all asses out there. Don't do a call out on the damn internet or media. Go get on the ground.
It's really funny how these guys came out to vote for somebody who promised mass deportation. Okay, a lot of them were thinking, oh, maybe these other people will be the ones deported, not knowing that they will be the ones deported and not the people they had in mind. Now that it's not dawning on them that, they made a huge mistake, that they would have thought better and all that, they are now trying to gaslight other communities, especially Black people, into coming out to protest with them. Few days ago, they had Black fatigue. The same people who were talking about how Black people were always in their faces and in their business and all that, are now the same people who are now calling them to come out and protest. Some of them are even saying that the only people who can save them at this point is Black people. You guys actually voted against your own interests. You voted against your own stay in the country. You voted for mass deportation, knowing fully well that this was exactly what was going to happen. But you never thought it was going to happen to your community because you felt you were palm-colored enough to stay with them. But now they are not telling you that you were never there, That's why Stephen Miller came out the other day and was talking about how if he has his ways, he will only have, is it 100,000 or so people in America, and those people will look like him. So you were never part of their plans in the first place. They never had you in mind, right? And every one of you were on the internet really talking about this. Some of you are not crying on the internet, the same internet that you used to do the campaign, dance around, and all of that. You are not complaining. I saw a video of a woman who was super excited the day it was announced that the Rain Man won. All of a sudden she's not crying how she cannot afford things, groceries are becoming so expensive and all of those things. And I was like, well, you voted because you wanted cheaper groceries, cheaper eggs, and all of that. What happened to those now? Why are you not crying on the internet? You should go pick them up where you kept them in the superstores, instead of coming out to really cry on the internet and regretting your vote. Some of those people who are regretting their votes are regretting it because it's not coming to them. If it was just affecting other people, they will not mind. But the fact that it's affecting them is where the problem lies. That's why they have issues. They do not want anything to affect them or affect their loved ones. They don't want anything as such to happen to any of them. They just want other people to be affected by their choices. They made the decision, yet they want other people to pay for the consequences. When the consequences come knocking, they are now crying on the internet for help and asking every other person to speak up for them and all that, forgetting that you made the conscious decision to vote against your own interests. This is exactly the whole, what's the name of that lady who sang the I Will Vote song, and all of a sudden her husband is getting deported. The other lady voted against her dad, her sick dad, stay in the country for him to stay among his family his before he goes over to the other side. And now he is being picked up by ICE, and yet they denied her appeal and all of that. This is a man who had just few months to stay here. You guys, you intentionally voted because you thought other people will be deported. But now it's coming to you that these other people were never immigrants in the first place. So nothing as such is going to happen to them. They will not be deported. They will not be facing deportation. Yes, they face their own struggles in the US, which some of you do not believe that there is something as such. But they do face it. And now you are looking for sympathy from the same people that you try to vote against. It is what it is. You voted against yourself, and now you got to face the consequences and not crying on the internet like somebody who is being who has a breakup or heartbreak. This is one of the things that you voted for. Well, guys, let me hear your thoughts in the comment. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. What do you think about these Latinos coming online to really cry about everything that is happening in the community? See you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.